What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have another NBA slate that we're about to go over. We're going to lock in some player props as well as some money lines for this slate once again. So if that's something you're interested, make sure you guys do stick around to the end. If you're not subbed, please hit that subscribe button. Really would appreciate it. We will be picking a winner for free VIP here in just a moment. So looking at this NBA slate, big slate, but we got some really ugly games, man. We got a lot of tanking teams playing against each other. We got some potential blowout games. So we're going to attack this slate a little bit light today. Even though it is a bigger slate in terms of game volume, you don't always have to go super hard on this slate. So like I said, we'll go over those plays here in just a minute. So I do want to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. If you're new to the channel, you know I do this in every single video. Every video, I give away free VIP as long as that video gets 250 likes. So make sure you guys smash that like button, drop a comment down in the comments, and let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. So the winner from yesterday's video is going to be for Adebayo. I don't know if I just feel like I just destroyed your name. I'm going to call you Abba. So Abba, send me a message on Discord. I got you added for a free month. And I do appreciate the love and support from every single one of you. They said, let's go. And hopefully you had a good day yesterday. In terms of the free picks yesterday, free picks didn't do so well. We went 2-2 on the free picks. Now, when you talk about the free picks, I gave you guys an extra pick as well. Because I told you guys I liked both LaMelo and Diabate for more than 10.5 RA. Both of those cashed. So we ended up sweeping Chalkboard. I only posted 2 slips on Chalkboard. They give these daily plays that are very low lines, and we ended up cashing both of those. So it was a nice little $300 profit over there on Chalkboard. Same thing for Sleeper. Sleeper, college basketball has been green. We blew up Sleeper yesterday. 75 for 150 is a little double up. Is I think it was $75 max on that one. $100 profit boost right here for 400 that we cashed, and then another $75 max that we can play on the discounted lines as well. So pretty good day on both Sleeper, or really good day on both Sleeper and Chalkboard. Prize picks wasn't the best. We only posted 1 slip. It ended up missing. Then we posted 1 slip for Underdog, which cashed, and it was for spring training. So if you guys are interested in MLB, we are very good at MLB. It's one of our favorite sports. Usually baseball is pretty consistent, so hopefully we have a good season this year. But we are posting some spring training plays. I will say, quick disclaimer, spring training is very volatile. If you join for spring training, please play light, because spring training, like I said, it's very volatile. These pitchers randomly get pulled. They might get 20 pitches. They might get 80 pitches. You never know. And I know 80 pitches is pushing it. Don't quote me on that. I'm just throwing random numbers out. But we have been doing very well in spring training, and we'd love to have you guys in there. So if you want to join the Discord, Discord is free. Links down in the description. If you want to get all of the VIP picks, you just go through our WAP page. $10 a week or $25 a month for now. And this code NBA will get you 20% off. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that if you haven't already. So that being said, let's go ahead and lock in some plays. Let's go ahead and attack the slate. So I almost started with the money lines. We're going to do player props first. Then we'll go into these money lines. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. So if you guys have not used Outlier, Outlier is the platform that I research on every day. There is a 7-day free trial link down in the description. I love Outlier. I think Outlier is by far the best research tool out there. You can do pretty much anything with it. You have positive EV value. You got regular player props. You can look at the game, see where the public money's at. Arbitrage. It's got all kinds of different tools for you to use on Outlier. So that's why I use it all the time. I push it very hard because I literally use this on a day-to-day basis. Without Outlier, I'd struggle researching in terms of having everything in one place. But anyways, let's jump into the first player prop that I have for today. So the first player prop that I have for today is going to be for our man Jaylen Duren. So I'm pulling up Jaylen Duren here. Now, today's one of the best games on the slate is going to be Detroit taking on the Spurs. So Pistons are in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. It's going to be a very good game. I'm expecting Jaylen Duren to have a good game. So Jaylen Duren is losing slight minutes in usage because Isaiah Stewart is back. So you got to remember, he was suspended. He came back last game, I believe was his first game back. But I still like Duren. So Duren's minutes last game, 26.5 minutes. Before that, he was getting around 30 minutes per game. Some of these games, high 30s. If he's having a killer game and they're getting beat by the Spurs or playing competitive with the Spurs, they're going to leave him in. They're not just going to pull him and let Isaiah Stewart come take the place just because minutes are minutes. Like if Duren's having a pop-off game, they're gonna give him the minutes he needs. But that is also a risk you have to take in this game as well. So Jaylen Duren, I like his rebounds. I like 9.5 better. If you want to take him for 11 rebounds, you can. I'm going to go with the 9.5 line. The 9.5 line is going to be slightly juiced. It's minus 200 odds if you were to straight bet it. You can't straight bet it. If you go to 10.5 is looking at like minus 119, minus 120. So you're looking around even odds where you could straight bet this play. It was like it's minus 130 on other platforms. So straight betting this is actually not the move. You get better value on prize picks by playing it in a parlay. So I'd probably take advantage of that prize picks line at minus 119. But I'm going to go with the 9.5 line. He's cashed at 8 of his last 10 games. He's cashed at 60% of his last 20, 60% hit rate on the season, averaging 11 boards per game. Head-to-head versus the Spurs, he has 2 matchups, only one this season, or 3 matchups, only one this season, which was a couple weeks ago where he had right at 14 rebounds. So a very good game versus the Spurs in his last game. Jaylen Duren's size is going to be needed, man. We got him versus Wemby. Wemby can have games where he gets 20 boards. He can have games where he gets 5. It really just depends on how Wemby's feeling. Duren's really the same way. You see that 5 rebound game versus the Hornets. Not sure how many minutes he played that game. Probably not many, 20 minutes. So I'm expecting at least 26 minutes from Jaylen Duren tonight. If you come to his minutes and put him at 26 minutes, we can see what his hit rate is. He has a 75% hit rate on the season as long as he gets 26 minutes. And we'll go down to 25 just in case Isaiah Stewart has a great game. But you can see, man, he's been very consistent at this line when you give him 26-ish minutes. So I like Jaylen Duren. I think he has a good game tonight. I think he's going to be needed in this matchup versus the Spurs. When you look at the lineup, you have a fully healthy team for Detroit versus a pretty injured team. Pretty injured is not the word to use. I would say a Spurs team that's missing a few players. Harrison Ingram's questionable. Harrison Barnes is out as of right now. Obviously, no Jones Garcia, and then Mason Plumlee is out still as well. So not anything major. It's not like you're missing Wemby or Fox or anything like that. But still, you got some players that are missing. So overall, this game should be competitive. In terms of picking a winner, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I do like Jaylen Duren for 9.5 rebounds if you want to play it on any platform. Right now, this play is boosted on Parlay Play. And I go through all these Parlay Play boosts every morning. So let me give you an example of that. They have like 5 or 6 boosts on the board right now. I'm going to go through every single one of them myself before I make these videos and find if I like any. Some days I don't like any of these boosts. Some days I like a lot of them. I do like Jaylen Duren for 9.5 rebounds. The value on this is pretty dang good. 1.5x pretty much for 10 boards. He can give us 10 boards easily. So I'm going to go with Jaylen Duren here. I'm going to run it on Parlay Play just because of the value. If you want to run it somewhere else like Prize Picks, Underdog, use the book that you like. I'm just going to run it on Parlay Play. Parlay Play is one of my favorite books for a reason. You can see I keep a very large banker on Parlay Play because it's one of my favorites. If you guys want to sign up for it, use code Fantasy Aces. They will give you $5 for free if you use our code, and they will give you a deposit match up to $100 if you decide to deposit. That being said, any app in the description that you sign up for with our code, you do get free VIP as well. So you can get up to 8 months of VIP for free. They all stack. Parlay Play is the one I push a lot. But enough of that. Let's go to their next pick. So next pick of the day that I like is going to be for our man Raynaud. So I'm taking Maxim Raynaud for the Kings. They are playing in Sacramento versus the Pelicans. So we have another competitive game. This game actually has a very high total, and you got 2 teams that are kind of tanking, but 2 teams that are actually have some decent games as well. So Raynaud, there's a lot of props that I like for him, and I'm gonna let you guys be the deciding factor on whether or not you take each prop. So there's PRA, there's points and rebounds, and there's rebounds and assists. I think Raynaud could cash all 3 of those tonight. I think this matchup is killer for him. If you look at the Pelicans, they have one of the worst defenses in the league, especially to the center position. One of the worst points defense to centers, worst rebound defense to centers, one of the worst assist defense to centers. Raynaud has been playing very well. He's getting around or mid-30s right now in terms of minutes. He had 36 minutes versus Phoenix. This is a game where the Kings can win. Now, do I think the Kings are trying super hard to win all these games? No, but I think they're going to play competitive. I think they have a lineup here where, this team needs some chemistry, man. Let's be honest. This team's missing a lot of players. We don't know how injuries are going to be next season. They need to learn to play together. They're missing Cardwell. They're missing Zach LaVine for the rest of the season. Sabonis is out for the rest of the season. Keegan Murray is out. Pelicans are missing DeJounte Murray tonight for rest. According to right now, obviously, these injury news can change. You got to remember that as well. Trey Murphy's questionable. Zion is questionable. So when you're playing the Pelican side of things, I would be careful and pay attention to injury news mainly because Trey Murphy and Zion can add a lot of can take a lot of usage. So if one of them sits and the other plays, the other one might get really good usage this game. So that's all I'm going to say for player props now. For example, Sadiq Bey right now, and his lines might be kind of elevated because they might be predicting Murphy or Williamson to play. So if you take the under yeah, you can risk it, but then if Murphy and Zion sit and you took the under, then Bay may go over. So it's very, very difficult to just guess if a player is going to play or not because the NBA is so sporadic on that. So I would wait for the Pelican side of things. For the King side of things, man, I think we're safe with Raynaud. I like Raynaud a lot. I think the matchup is perfect for him. Head-to-head, he had 41 PRA his last game versus the Pelicans back on February 9th. On the season, obviously, his hits rate's not going to be good, but he wasn't playing big minutes. Look at his minutes. You can see a lot of these minutes. He's getting a couple games less than 10. So he was not getting big minutes. When you give him big minutes, obviously his hit rate's going to go way up. So we can put his. Can I not change his minutes right now? Okay, there it goes. So we put him at like 28 minutes per game. You got a 60% hit rate. So he's been playing well. Look at his last 7 or 8 game stretch. Been doing very, very well. So in a matchup like this, I'm going to give him a chance. You can take his PRA at 27.5. It's minus 110 if you want to straight bet it on Hard Rock. It's a very good value right there. If you want to take his points and rebounds, is 26.5 for a little bit better value, about minus 106. So you get pretty much even odds if you run it on your favorite book. But you can also take a look at his assist line. So Raynaud's assist is 1.5. He averages 1 assists per game. And his last few games, he's been getting 2, 4, a couple of these games, 3, had 4 his last game. And he's playing against the Pelicans team that give up a lot of assists to centers. So potentially Raynaud gets 3 or 4 assists here, and it makes that PRA line much better than PR, which is why I was mainly looking at the points and rebounds line I was mainly looking at the PRA line or the rebound and assist line. His rebound and assist line, I believe, is 11.5. It might be 10.5. Hold up, let me check one more time. 12.5 is not where it was. Yeah, it was 11.5 for sure a minute ago. So 11.5 right now is going to be minus 145. So a little bit more juice. But lately he's been smashing that line as well, getting 14 his last game versus Phoenix. He had just 10 boards, 4 assists. So if he gets a big assist game, this probably becomes free. If he doesn't get any assists, it's probably going to be very sweaty for rebounds. So that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of the risk here. In terms of the point line, he averages right now around 11 field goal attempts per game. So he's putting up double digits. So as long as he gives us 15-ish points, I think we're good to go on this one. His line's 15.5. I think he cashes points as well, but he could have a 20 rebound game and a 10-point game, and you cash your PRA that way as well. So I'm gonna let you guys choose what you want to play. I like his PRA, I think, the best. If you were to play it on parlay play, I believe it's 28.5, and I'm not playing that bump. 28.5 on parlay play. I'm not playing that. You could play the 24.5, play it slightly safe. This gives you a 1.9x. That may be what I end up doing with this boost. But you can't play his 27.5 on parlay play where you can on Prize Picks. On Prize Picks, they have this line at 27.5, which is regular value. So guys, do what you want with that. Play it where you want. Play whichever line you want. I'm going to run PRA. Probably just going to play it at 25, and I'm going to play it with Duren rebounds and go ahead and lock this in live. That way I can at least have this live slip locked in for you guys with the Duren boost. So let's lock it in. Maxim Raynaud with our man Jaylen Duren as our first slip of the day. 250 to win 470. So $220 profit if we cash this slip. And that is right there if you guys do want to tell. I'm going to refresh this so you know it's legit. We refresh. There we go. No faking numbers here on the Fantasy Aces like a lot of these guys do. Anyways, let's jump into our third pick of the day. So the third player prop that I like on today's slate is going to be for our man Kevin Durant. Now, this is based off where his line is, I don't know if anybody's going to sit, but let's take a look at this team. So right now, Houston is missing Steven Adams. Sengun questionable, Jabari Smith questionable, Jayshawn Tate out, Amon Thompson questionable, Fred VanVleet out. Missing a lot of players. They're playing against the Warriors. Obviously, this Warriors team is missing pretty much everybody, so I'm not super concerned with the game being a blowout or anything, even if every one of these players sit. KD will have a ton of usage if specifically more than one. Like if Amon Thompson and Sengun both sit, like KD's gonna feast, in my opinion. I think he does. Even if they play, his line is at a spot to where he can cash this even if they play. So I like KD for 35 PRA. I'm buying it down from 36.5 to 34.5. This line being a straight bet is looking at minus 155 on FanDuel. So pretty juiced. I probably wouldn't straight bet it, but if you wanted to, you could. 35 PRA is a line KD's been pretty popping off on. He's cashed at 8 of his last 10 games, cashed at 65% of his last 20, 65% hit rate on the season. Head-to-head, he's only been over 1 of his last 3 versus Golden State. He has no games this season where he has a matchup with that with Golden State, I mean. But lately, been popping off. 51, 45, and 38 PRA in his last 3 games, averaging right at 36 minutes per game. Obviously, KD's going to get big minutes. He's on 3 days rest. He hasn't played in a few days, and they got a few players that are potentially going to be sitting for 3 of their starting 5 are questionable. So. That would also increase his line if they get ruled out. If they get ruled out, I feel like we're looking at close to a 40 PRA line for a man Durant. So I'm specifically locking him in early because I could see one of these players sit. Now, they could all 3 play. If everybody plays, this line gets sweatier, but KD can still cash this with everybody playing. We've seen him do that 8 of his last 10 games. So let's pull up Kevin Durant here. The value on this play is not bad. I'm not looking at just his points line, but I am looking at his PRA line myself, and I'm going to show you my reasoning for that. You can see a couple of these games where he's getting low points. Right here, he had 14 RA and 21 points, and he still cashed the PRA line. So KD can facilitate. He can get a lot of boards. If everybody's sitting, KD's going to have to do it all, or they're going to get beat, and I don't think KD wants to lose this game. So, which, it's KD. He can take his games off. But for 1.5x, man, I really like this play. So I'm going to lock in Kevin Durant. Once again, you can play him on Prize Picks if you want. Kevin Durant right here. He is a popular player on Prize Picks, but you can get him at 34.5. This right here gives you a 2.6x if you want to play that together. You guys saw how I locked in Raynaud. I'm not going to be locking in this slip specifically, but I am going to be locking in Kevin Durant. Now, who am I going to pair Kevin Durant with? I'm playing KD with our man Bam. Now, I'm buying Bam down. Bam is going to be a goblin play. It's one of my favorite goblins on the day just because of how he's been playing. So Bam's line's 34.5. I'm taking him to give us 30 PRA. He's cashed at 7 of his last 10. He's cashed this line 80% of his last 20 games with a 34 PRA average over his last 20. 61% hit rate on the season. Head-to-head, 3 of his last 5 games versus the Nets he's cashed. The Nets have been playing pretty decent in terms of keeping the games competitive, and I say that, and I could be completely wrong. I could be lying out my butt on that. Let me go ahead and just pull this up and confirm that. So the Nets got beat by Miami. Okay, they got beat by 26 the last game versus Miami. So I'm literally just talking BS right now. Forget what I just said. They kept it close with the Cavs. Kept it blowout versus Boston. Got beat by 16 versus the Spurs. Decently competitive. I mean, it really just depends on which version of the Nets we get. We can have the bad Nets team show up and get blown out, but I think they can keep it competitive. Miami's not some powerhouse team. Miami's good. They have a decent lineup. They're better at home, but they're still not some team that you would expect to just spank everybody. So Miami, I'm okay with taking versus the Nets here. Bam for 30 PRA, I think it's going to be an okay line. I think he's going to get a decent amount of minutes. He's been playing 31 minutes per game on the average on the season. Last 20, he's sitting at 32. You can see 35 in his last 3 games. So this game stays competitive. He's getting big minutes. Last game where he played versus the Nets was right here. Last game, played 35 minutes, and it was a blowout win. So I'm expecting a good matchup here for him, man. Bam. The stats allowed by Brooklyn to centers isn't a lot, but with the way Bam's been playing, that doesn't even matter anything to me. I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm okay with taking a chance on Bam at 30 PRA. If he takes the game off, it is what it is. I'm going to play it with KD, and I'm going to trust my gut on this one. So Bam, right here, 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists, gives us another 1.9x. $250 wins us 475. I'm going to place that bet. Continue. Right there. We got both of them locked in live on video. So if you guys want to play it, there you go. If you don't, you don't have to. But if you look at his last 10 games, field goal attempts, he's averaging almost 17 field goal attempts over his last 20, which is a lot for Bam. 24 field goal attempts his last game versus the Nets. So he's been putting up big shot attempts. He's been getting a lot of boards. He's been getting decent amount of assists in some of these games. Bam's been doing it all. And they're missing some players as well. So Fontecchio is potentially out. Jovic is out for back. Norman Powell is out as of right now. Rozier obviously still out, so this can change. But as of right now, they're missing a few players, and Bam's going to get more usage for sure. They do have Wiggins, Hero, and Davion Mitchell right now that can also have their games. Hero specifically, but I do think Bam has another good game. I think 29.5 is too low for the way he's been playing. So that's what we got for player props. Let's talk about these games, and then we're going to lock in our NOVIG boost live. So if you guys are new to NOVIG, code ACES on NOVIG gets you a deposit match. Right here, you can do these pro basketball parlay boosts. So pro NBA, or pro basketball is just NBA. I don't know why they don't just call it NBA. I guess they can't for prediction markets. A lot of these prediction markets have it just pro basketball. Not sure why. Anyways, right here, you hit claim now. You have it claimed. It's a $25 max, and it has to be a plus $300 parlay. So we're going to lock in this long shot parlay again. We have literally been one off 4 days in a row, which it's been killing me, man. Last night we got beat by the total for the Celtics Hornets game, which sold our play, and literally it was like 207. We needed 212, and it was overpaced. It was overpaced to hit, and they just slowed down at the end there, and it just, man, it killed me. I was hoping. But we got that one. But let's talk about this slate, guys. So the first game on the slate we have is going to be the Magic taking on the Mavericks. This one is going to be in Orlando. The Magic are minus 300 favorites, 9.5 spread, 228.5 total. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, these slates with these crap games like this one, I don't like this game at all. I'm probably not going to be talking too much about it. I think the Magic win this game. Most of the money is going to be on the Magic, for example. Dallas is tanking. They have a lot of injuries that you have to pay attention to. You can't really make too many decisions until you find out if Cooper Flagg's playing. He's probably going to be limited regardless. All these players are probable. It is what it is, man. I don't think Dallas is going to win this game. They're a tanking team. I'm staying away from it myself. Next game we have is going to be an interesting one. We have the Jazz taking on the Wizards. It's got 242.5 total. Could be a baller game in terms of player props. Washington's minus 127 at home, 2.5 point spread. Most of the money on Washington money line, but if you look at the spread, a lot of money is going to be on the Jazz covering a 2.5 point spread. Now the Jazz are on a back-to-back. They just got beat by Philly. Very close game versus the Sixers last night. Honestly, I got kind of worried that the Sixers were going to lose and chalk our NOVIG parlay, but they ended up cashing us out. A very close game. Right now, the Jazz are missing a lot of players for sure. Keontae George, Kyle Filipowski. Filipowski came very close to cashing us yesterday. He would have cashed a slip on parlay play that we gave for free. But Filipowski got in foul trouble, man. He had 5 minutes playing time in the first half. I want you to understand that. Dude played 5 minutes in the first half. He had 6 points and rebounds in the first half in 5 minutes. Was way over pace per minute. And then just he couldn't get it, man. He ended with like 17. If he would have had a better first half in terms of fouls, we would have been golden on that play. Very unlucky. Playing against the Wizards do have Trae Young tonight. So Trae Young's making his first start for this Wizards team. Obviously, probably going to be limited. I'd say probably low 20 minutes if he gets that much. Missing every other player on the team pretty much. So the Wizards team, not much going on there. So this game's not a game that I really want to put money on. I want to take the Wizards here because the Jazz are on a back-to-back, but the Jazz, I think, if Trae Young doesn't get big minutes, I think the Jazz have the better lineup. So, tough game to call. Probably not going to put money on this one myself. But for player props-wise, you got a good game in terms of neither team playing much defense at all, very high-scoring total, and you got a lot of players that, a lot of bench players that are playing. So, you can do what you want with that, and if you want to target this game, go for it. But next game, Rockets Golden State. We've already talked about this one. The Rockets are missing a lot of players. You can't bet on this game until you find out injury news. You really can't. The Rockets are minus 300 with all those players questionable. I'm not willing to put money on this myself. I'm going to fade it. Most of the money's going to be on the Rockets anyway. Golden State's pretty much missing everybody. Kind of tanking a little bit. They're still 31-30, positive record, but I don't think they end the season positive. I'm going to be honest with you, unless a lot of these players come back, which it doesn't look good for them. Regardless, this game is going to be a wait for injury news game with a 214.5 total, low scoring. Next game is going to be Miami taking on the Nets. Not a game I'm looking for in sports books once again. It's got a Miami minus 669 favorites, 12.5 point spread. Most of the money going to be on Miami. We've already talked about this in terms of player props. I think that this game could be competitive. I do think it could be competitive. I do think Miami wins. In a game that I think is going to be competitive, I can't take a team at minus 600. I don't think Brooklyn wins, so I'm not playing them for plus 600. I've seen this team play with other teams and almost beat them and then just kind of throw the game away. So they're definitely tanking. If they come out here and beat Miami, good for them, plus 600 underdogs. You can take them if you want. I'm fading this one as well. Next good game we have on the slate. Thankfully, we have a few good games here. We have the Raptors taking on the Timberwolves. This one is in Minnesota. Minnesota's minus 200 favorites, 5.5 spread, 226.5 total. Most of the money going to be on the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are a good team. Toronto been playing good as well. Got beat by the Knicks their last game. That one was in Toronto. Timberwolves just coming off of a win versus Memphis, Denver, Clippers, and Portland. So 4-game win streak. They've won 7 of the last 8. Been looking very good. Strong team at home. And I do expect the Timberwolves to win tonight, especially because Brandon Ingram may be sitting. So they have Chucky Hepburn who is out. Brandon Ingram questionable. Murray Boyles is out as well. Minnesota missing Joe Ingles. So we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, both teams fully healthy. So if Ingram plays, this game could be very competitive. If Ingram sits, I'm still just going to run Timberwolves. I think Timberwolves could be good for a NOVIG parlay. We'll see here in a minute what kind of value we can get. But give me Minnesota here. I think this is going to be a good game. 226.5 total. Some player props in here are good as well. You can look at Ant-Man. You can look at Julius Randle. I was thinking about taking a Randle prop. Other than that, you got to wait for injuries before you take anybody from the Raptors. So that's my thoughts on that game. Next one, Pistons versus Spurs. Best game on the slate by far, in my opinion. Spurs minus 150 favorites at home. 3.5 spread, 228.5 total. Most of the money on San Antonio on both the spread and the money line. Looking at these teams, the Spurs have won so many games, man. They have won like 11 of their last 12 games. Pistons, pretty much the same way, though. They've won, what is this? That is 8 of their last 10, so they look very, very good. Both these teams very strong, two of the best teams in the league. Expect another powerhouse matchup. Both teams pretty much healthy. Spurs missing some bench players, but other than that, I mean, these teams looking good. Head-to-head data, the Pistons have beat them 2 of their last 3 games. Don't think that matters too much here. The Spurs at home, 78% win rate. Very, very hard to beat at home. But the Pistons can do it if a team can do it. Pistons are fully healthy at plus 144. They're hard to not take, but man, the Spurs team at home is hard to bet against as well. So I'm leaning Spurs just because they're at home. Give me the Spurs here. I think they're going to win, but I do think the Pistons are definitely live dogs. If you got money, if you think the Pistons win, man, just lock in the Pistons. At plus 140, you're not looking at a bad bet here. So for me, it's going to be Spurs. Not touching the spread on this one. I think this game does stay competitive. I'm not going to touch the total either. The total bit me yesterday, and I'm probably going to take a break from the totals for a day. But yeah, give me Spurs tonight. I like the Spurs. I'm going to fade this game, Bulls versus Suns. Just an ugly game. I don't like it. I'm just going to fade it. Next 2 games we have, 2 pretty competitive games. I like these 2 games to target. This one's going to be Lakers versus the Nuggets. Nuggets are minus 170 at home, 4.5 spread, 240.5 total. Very high scoring game. Very good for player props. Most of the money on Lakers money line at plus 170 for good reason. I say for good reason, but just because of the value at plus 170. Most of the money on Nuggets covering a 4.5 spread. Now, I think the Nuggets are probably going to win. The Lakers had a hard time beating the Pelicans, and that one was at home. So, Lakers just haven't been looking strong, man. I know they beat Golden State and Sacramento, but man, they just still they're so sporadic, so inconsistent. They have Kleber questionable, Denver missing Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson questionable, Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson both out as well. But Nuggets coming off a win versus the Jazz, very close game. I'm not saying the Nuggets are looking strong. They're really not. Lakers not any worse on the road than they are at home. Nuggets are a little bit worse this season at home than they are overall. So this one, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I may end up running the Lakers. It's just so hard to trust them. Right now, I'm on the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are going to win this game. I think this could be a good game for props as well if you want to play that one. Last game on the slate, another powerhouse game for props, 234.5 total. Game that should be competitive. Kings are plus 180, underdogs at home, 5.5 spread. Most of the money going to be on the Pelicans. The Pelicans have been playing pretty good ball, man. Keeping it close versus the Lakers the last game. Other than that, they've won 4 of the last 5 other than the Lakers. Kings, 2-game loss streak, haven't been looking too good. They're a tanking team. Both these teams really no playoff potential. Trey Murphy questionable, DeJounte Murray out, Zion questionable. Kings, we already talked about injuries here. In terms of the game, man, Kings for plus 180. If Zion sits or something, then I think Kings are honestly live dogs for sure here, especially if Trey Murphy and Zion both sit. So I think Sacramento can win this game. Neither team are on a back-to-back. If Murphy and Zion play, then I'm on the Pelicans side of things. But if either of them sit, then I think you can get some good value here for Sacramento. So I'm only going to run Sacramento, like I said. If a player sits, may only play them if both players sit. Pelicans been looking better overall, but this game could go either way. So lock in whichever one you think's whichever one's your favorite. But anyways, let's go ahead and lock in our slip live over here on the NOVIG boost. So we're going to activate the NOVIG boost here in a minute. We have to get a plus 300 odds parlay before we can do that. Let's talk about these teams. So looking at these, there's a lot of heavy favorites here that we can run. I'm going to run Spurs, I think. So I think Spurs at minus 150 is going to be on this. I think Minnesota at minus 200 is going to be on this. This is going to give us plus 120, which seems like very bad value here. But we have to get plus 300. And I'm just going to run money lines today. I think there's so many odds here. You could run these with just Sacramento, and you're at plus 500, for example. And that may be something I do. Once again, quick disclaimer. On NOVIG, these are $25 maxes. That is a 10% of a unit for me. If I lose a $25 play, it does not hurt my feelings. Obviously, it hurts my feelings because it's more of like, if it cashes, I win 150, which is cool. That's $150. If it misses, I only lose $25. The $25 is not going to make or break me. If this $25 is going to make or break you, don't play $25 on it, first of all. Play like $1 or $2, whatever you can afford to lose. And if you can't afford to lose anything, then don't bet on them. Like, these are long shot parlays. These are plus 300 odds minimum. So the odds of hitting those is hard. They're harder to hit, man. Just remember that. So we can run Lakers or we could run Kings right here for plus 170. Let me see. If we did this, plus 250, plus 269. If we ran just Spurs in one of these for plus money, that puts us at over plus 300 for either one. Spurs. Let's think about this clearly for one moment before we make any rash decisions. Because if I ran some heavy favorites here, what happens? It's just so hard to get an actual line with all these heavy favorites. I don't like those. I'm going to lock in Spurs. And I'm going to play them with Lakers or Kings. Man, that's tough. That's tough. I might run them with Lakers, man. I might trust my team. Put you at plus 305. It's only 2 legs. Lakers are live dogs. Kings are live dogs. Kings, just the injury news is what worries me for the Pelicans. Lakers fully healthy, man. Give me the Lakers. We're going to take it. We're going to put $25 on this. I'm not going to be betting a full unit on the Lakers. Why can I not activate the parlay boost? 25. It's got to be 3 legs. Did not know that. Okay. So, Lakers plus 5.5 instead of Lakers money line, and then we could run it with like Minnesota maybe. Plus 294. So tragic. If we do Minnesota minus 1.5, can we get that? We can. Puts us at plus 322. Let's do that. I'm going to do Minnesota minus 1.5. Take Lakers plus 5.5 and Spurs money line because it has to be a 3-leg parlay. That's going to put us at plus 426, 25 wins, 131. I'm locking it in. Geolocation, whatever. It's got to verify my location. There you go. Spurs money line, Minnesota minus 1.5, Lakers plus 5.5. I'm locking it in. If you don't like it, don't play it. That's what I'm locking in for the NOVIG boost for today. Lock them in if you like them, fade them if you don't. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, once again, hit that like button, drop a sub. I would appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.